Hey, I'm Craig, and today for the Surfboard Guide, we're going to check out the Modern 2 by Sharpeye Surfboards. So the Modern 2 I've been riding is a stock 5.8, and it comes in at 5.8 by 20 by 2.5 and exactly 31.6 litres. So this is my first Sharpeye surfboard. I've never had a Sharpeye before. I've ridden a lot of different boards, but never a Sharpeye. So it's not a new model. The Modern 2's been out for quite a while. There's a few things online about it. I think Noel from Surf and Show did a really good review of it a couple of years ago, and seeing how much fun he had it and a lot of other people, including Filipe Toledo, I was pretty frothing to check it out. So looking over it, it is a little kind of twin fin performance fish. Nothing crazy going on. Sharpeye says it's a blend between like an MR style twin fin and some of the more performance thrusters out there. And that's exactly how it feels. Feels like it has some of that really fun twin fin stuff going on, but the thing is lightning fast. I think I understand why Filipe surfs so damn fast now. This thing is an absolute rocket. So looking over it, it's not too it has a boxy kind of full rail and a fairly flat deck, but it's not overly aggressive with foam. But in saying that, it feels like it still does hold quite a bit of foam under the chest. But what's quite interesting, you'll see the rocker on the bottom of the board. There's actually still quite a bit of deck rocker through the board. But saying that, it's fairly flat, but you can still see that lift through the top and the bottom, which is really quite interesting. And then looking at the kind of outline, it's fairly wide and holds a lot of volume through the front and a lot of width. And then coming through the back, it has a fairly kind of, straight outline through that mid part. And then it has this really cool little like hip kind of bump that brings that tail into a really neat and tight little swallowtail. So, you've got this really quite wide board in front of the fins here, and that brings it in really quickly to make a really tight and easy to turn tail. Flipping it over, it has a kind of a concave through the center. It feels like a single, but then it feels like it actually has a V that runs, it feels like it's up here. I don't think it's a double, it's a V, but the V is actually quite aggressive through the fins. If it had a stringer, you'd see it significantly, and you can definitely feel it. And that V goes off the tail. And you can definitely feel that when you're surfing. Regardless if I had a twin or a thruster or any sort of setup, it had a really nice rail to rail, really skatey, really easy to turn feel. And that's got a lot to do with that V that comes off through the tail there. So I've had the Modern 2 for a while now, and I've been surfing it in, I'd love to say I've surfed in a variety of conditions, but it's been something I've kind of grabbed when waves have been like, say, waist high through to about head high. I think the Modern 2 is at home in waves kind of 2 to 4 foot. When waves, and also in kind of crappy and average waves. What I've loved about it is it paddles pretty well. It's not amazing or whatever. It's got enough foam to get onto waves, but the speed that it has when you're on a wave is amazing. And it's got this really nice, loose kind of, I don't know if I'm just channeling my inner Filipe Toledo when I'm surfing it, but it just feels it feels lightning fast. It feels easy to surf. And you feel like you're doing some of your best, most free, it feels really free. Some of your most free surfing on it. It's just easy to turn, and there's not a lot that it can't do. At my local beach, we've had this kind of right rip bowl, which has been really fun on a high tide. And this thing's been absolutely mental. Most days that kind of sits in between, the waist to chest high range, and it'll be really sucky at the takeoff. And with that, this has enough lift through the front that it can handle some kind of sucky and steep takeoffs, and enough paddle power to get into them nice and early. But also that rocker through the front allows you to do, in those rip bowls, you get some really sucky and really short sections that come at you very quickly. You can turn on this board in a really short and tight radius, and it was perfect for those small sort of sucky rip bowls. And also what was kind of cool, it just feels so free. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if I'm channeling my inner Filipe, but I feel like there's almost, whatever your surfing ability is, I know what mine is, it's not great, but it definitely gets you to the end of that, and you can do some of your best surfing on this board, especially in kind of small and marginal conditions. Flipping over the Modern 2, I've been riding the MR Twin. This has been one of my favorite twin fin sets. It has, I think, a perfect blend of hold and release. It's not something I'd ride as a pure twin without the trailer, like the center fin, but when the center fin's in, it's an absolute perfect set. It has lots of drive and lots of hold. At no time does it ever feel like it's gonna jump out of the water like some twin fins, but it also has a really nice release. So if you wanna get slidey or loose in your turns, this thing is more than capable and makes it really, really easy. Just to check it out, I tried it as a thruster. I put in the AM, the large Almeric thruster set, because that's a fin I love. It felt okay, nothing amazing. It definitely wants a twin fin, because I think it gives you more of a kind of a tighter leverage point, and you can do more kind of skatey and looser turns with a thruster and a more balanced fin set, which you get from a thruster when all three fins are a similar size. You don't get, it's not quite as fun. So while it does work, I definitely stick to a twin plus a stabiliser. I did try it without the stabiliser. It felt really too loose. Like I said, it's got a huge V, this really tight tail, and the MR twins aren't a huge twin fin, so it didn't quite have enough hold, and yeah, it definitely needed the stabiliser in the middle for me anyway. The Modern 2 is 31.6 litres. So in a shortboard, I kind of ride around a litre less than that, at around 30 to kind of 30.5 litres. And this felt absolutely perfect. I must say, it didn't feel like an amazing paddler. I didn't feel every bit of that 31.6 litres, but when on a wave, it's got to be one of the fastest boards I've ever ridden. I think that's got a lot to do with a few things. The design, it's a really fast board. It's designed to be really quick and nimble in, you know, small and average waves. And also this E2 epoxy technology. It's so light and just, you know, it's got a really good kind of response. It feels so nimble and it feels so quick that it just felt absolutely amazing. And I think that's why it's such a fast and easy to surf board. Overall, I've loved the Modern 2. I don't know why it's taken me so long to check out a Sharpeye, but I'm so stoked I did. And having seen, like, you know, Noel Salas, Filipe Toledo, and a whole bunch of other people having so much fun on this board, I'm stoked that it was my first Sharpeye. Look, if you're looking for a twin fin that is really capable across, you know, a whole range of conditions from kind of 1 to 4 foot in, you know, good and marginal waves, this is it. The thing is lightning fast. It turns in a really small radius, and it gets you doing some of your best surfing in some really average waves. Look, overall, I've absolutely frothed out on it, and hopefully get a chance to check one out. Thanks so much for watching.